What's up? Your boy Savage, aka Sevloke. You tuning in to Sevloke's Hood Tales. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Let's get to the politic. Big shout out to everybody showing the channel love. I appreciate the love and support. Thank you for the interactions. So first things first. The last couple weeks, I've been putting energy into negativity. And I brought the toxicness to both of my YouTube channels. And I want to apologize to my subscribers, my followers, the family for bringing that energy over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the good vibes, bro. So I'm not gonna feed into negativity from anyone. So from here on out, it's good vibes, man. Let's get back to normal scheduling. You know what I'm saying? And let's push that line, bro. You know what it is. Second thing, I haven't really been able to dive into requested topics like I want. I got a big list of requests from people, and I haven't been able to actually put out enough content for the requested videos. So thank you for your patience, and I'm actually going to do on my part more to get out requested videos, because if it wasn't for you guys requesting these videos, I want to have no content to put out to you guys, man. I would, it's if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. My YouTube channel will be a dud. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for the request and giving me some topics to talk about. So let's get to it. And in this video, it's a request from the homie, the 303 City. And he wanted to know about the separation of bloods out here, what bloods beef with each other throughout the city. He wanted to know what gangs beef with each other throughout the city, etc. So I'm going to give you some knowledge from what I know. I don't know everything, you know what I'm saying? But I've been around a little bit, I've come across every different type of neighborhood out here. I've been everywhere in the Denver Metro, bro, and all the way from Denver Metro to Aurora to Montbello. I seen a lot of different politics from different gangs. Sometimes not so good, you know what I'm saying? Other times, respect all the way around. And I know people are gonna say this, bro. Didn't you grow up with the Crips? Didn't you? Aren't you a Crip? How can you talk about the Bloods and know all this information? Growing up, I had a lot of experiences with the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Just being who I am, I had a lot of enemies from the Bloods because my circle hella active. So it goes both ways. Over the years, though, I done grew up, been through the trenches, and took losses from that side, you know what I'm saying, gave losses to them fools. And over the years, bro, I've actually, certain individuals, I gained respect for certain individuals. A quick story: last year, bro, I ran into somebody that I usually, in the past when I was younger, usually it never went too good. Every time we seen each other, his little clique, his little homies, and me and my homies, it was on site. There was no passes given or anything when we were younger. And for the first time, we actually shook hands, bro, and kind of just chopped it up about old school situations of what happened. He time healed. You know what I'm saying? And as men, we actually chopped it up, you know what I'm saying? Because when we were out there, bro, there was a lot of stuff that went down, bro, and food, it was bad blood between us, and then, to be real, I actually have some uncles that are Don Moves, you know what I'm saying, from the west side. So just knowing them fools, and we finally got to actually chop it up as family instead of looking at each other as gang members. When we look past the aspect of just looking at each other as them fools are from Bloods and they looked at me as that little fool's a Crip, it was good conversation, bro, and it was actually it was a breaking out point in the family, because I got to actually chop it up with them as a man, and they chopped it up with me as a man. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm 37, bro, and I've been around, and you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I've gained some respect for some Don moves. You know what I'm saying? Over the years, if you a rider and you pushing respect, and you a real rider from yours, bro, I don't have no problems with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just disrespect. Disrespect don't go far in this life. You know what I'm saying? You have to start getting to a point, bro, where you see things in a different light. 100%. That's just being real. So in this question, he asked the separation. So let's take it back to the origins, right? The foundation where everything all started from. So before the era of Bloods and Crips, the East Side had a gang called Brick City Originals. And that gang, over the years, rooted into different sectors from Brick City. Different cars, different circles, right? And Brick City was an East Side OG gang from the East Side of Denver, the Five Points area, the projects, all that. And in Park Hill, you had a crew, a gang, a clique called the BOYZs, and that was Park Hill. That was older fools from Park Hill. And they held it down for Park Hill. This was before the Bloods and Crip era even hit out here. Then Crippin came to Denver, Colorado, and Crippin actually, the roots of Crippin went to the East Side, straight to the East Side. And before you knew it, it spread like a wildfire to all these other areas in the Denver metro. Montbello, a gang of lokes out there. Aurora, a gang of lokes out there. Eastside Denver, a gang of lokes out there. Even Commerce City, lokes out there. Thorin, lokes out there. So Crippin hit the Denver metro and it spread like a wildfire. Bloods hadn't hit the Denver metro yet. Years down the road, OG Don Moves came out to Denver, probably because of what the Crips came out here for, because there was money out here. And the area that them fools actually started networking with and actually linking with was the Park Hill fools. And some OGs from Park Hill tied in with the LA Don Moves. And that's where the creation of Bloods actually came from. When it came out here was Park Hill. Park Hill turned into the mecca of Bloods. They started breeding and rooting the Blood area over there, and they held it down for a long time because, like I said, every other part of the metro was actually Crips, and the Bloods were outnumbered 5-1 out here. So in order for you to be a Blood, you had to have heart. Because everywhere you went in the city, you were going to see your enemies, the Crips. Then the war took place between the East Side and Park Hill because if you recall in the city, the East Side and Park Hill are separated by one big road, one big street, Colorado Boulevard. And they had the most history between warfare, and to this day it still goes down between youngsters because there's so much bloodshed, there's so much history between the East Side and Park Hill. A lot of fools done died from both sides. Even the bus lines, bro. You get on them bus lines, bro, you might get on that bus and get caught slipping because everybody had to go through them bus lines. Colorado Boulevard bus line, the 43 going to Montbello, that bus line, bro, like the 28 all throughout there, you might get on that bus and actually run into each other because that one street divided Park Hill and the East Side, and East Side tried to stay away from Park Hill because it was a lot of hatred. If you got caught slipping on that side of town, you might lose your life. Park Hill fools stayed off the east side in the 5 points. They didn't even like to come through the east side. You know what I'm saying? So that was, you know, the aspect of warfare that was going on. And then down the road, you know, you had blood hoods start coming to Park Hill, you know, deep. Lincoln Park, Paul Roos, Skyline, Paul Roos, Crenshaw Mafia, PHB, Park Hill Bloods. That's what their hood was called. Even some little foods called Homicide Gangsters. You know what I'm saying? But the predominantly gang that you always heard was Crenshaw Mafia, the mafias. You know what I'm saying? Mafia style, and that, you know, that was created, I think, from the West Side fools, but a lot of fools would be like, them are the mafias over there. You had another blood hood, Deuce 9. You know what I'm saying? They were Bloods. You had a handful of fools that were from Deuce 7 Bloods. And Deuce 7 Bloods down the road, to be truthful, Deuce 7 Bloods, it was crazy because a big part of Deuce 7 Bloods was the Boom and Bang fools, Poncho and his brother and all them fools, and they had a bad rep, you know. So they had, you know, some in-house beefs over there. I don't really know the whole stories of how the in-house beefs got created, but there was some fools that they were not getting along with amongst each other, so it was in-house beefs for sure. And down the road, after the Bloods hit in Park Hill, I think, honestly, if I'm correct, there was a couple Chicano and Mexican fools that had ties to the West Side that were tied in with Park Hill, family members or whatever, you know what I'm saying, through marriage. And down the road, the Bloods got taken over to the West Side of Denver, and they spread in the West Side of Denver even deeper than Park Hill. At the time frame that we're talking right now, the West Side Chicano Bloods are deeper even than the Black Bloods out here in Denver. You know what I'm saying? There's so many gangs of West Side Bloods, and then there's so many little circles upon circles of West Side Bloods. West Side Bloods from Crenshaw Mafia have like 4 different hoods, basically. They got West Side CMGs that just bang 10-4. You got CMG Deuce 7 block Bloods. You have West Ridge CMGs, and that's like the newer CMGs. You have old school CMGs that are like original CMGs. That was CMG over there was one of the bigger hoods and probably the biggest hood of even the Mexican and Chicano blood. So CMG all the way around from Park Hill to the West Side is the biggest blood hood in Denver, Colorado. And then, you know, you had SMB fools, sick-minded Bloods. You had crazy Chicano Bloods. You had LGB, Latino Gangsta Bloods. You had the Deuce 7 Blocks MG Bloods, Boom and Bang. But like I said, they had a bad name. They molested some little girl. And it was crazy, bro, because when it first was created and there was not really a link besides a couple fools, the West Side Bloods and the Park Hill Bloods didn't really actually connect like that. They were like, they both banged Damu, but they didn't even really actually have relationships like that. A lot of Mexican and Chicano Bloods were like, this is Chicano Bloods, homie. We don't care about them Park Hill fools. And Park Hill fools were always on that. This is Park Hill over everything. We don't care about them Chicano Bloods. When I first fell, I could remember when the Bloods actually got into it with the Paisa fools, and the Paisas were deep, and some Paisas actually knocked out this Chicano Blood. Then the Chicano Bloods came in and they went and approached the Paisas, and the Paisas whistled, did their little Mexican whistle, and it turned into a big old brawl in the gym. They got down. They all went to the hole. When they got out, the Chicano Bloods, some of the OG Chicano Bloods got out of the hole and approached the Black Bloods from Park Hill. And the Black Bloods from Park Hill did not get involved with it. They said that's your guys' situation. But in recent years, I've seen now that Park Hill and a lot of CMGs from Park Hill and CMGs from the West Side, they've actually come together with more relations. Them fools, you'll catch them actually functioning together. And I told a story a little bit back. We was trooping out there, man. We hit the Bugs Bunny Hotel, and it was actually Chicano Bloods, and we ran up in the spot, and they came out deep. While some Park Hill Bloods also was over there, and the Park Hill Blood actually recognized me and gave me the pass to actually fade out with them fools instead of them fools actually packing us out or whatever they were gonna do. But it just goes to show you that Park Hill has a presence over there in the West Side now, that they're tied in with them fools. And a gang that is the newer breed of Chicano Bloods is the West Side West Ridge CMGs. And the fools that were really pushing the line for them fools were actually, they went out of their way to tap in with the Park Hill fools and the Crenshaw Mafias from Park Hill. And you would catch a lot of the West Ridges really linked up with them fools from Park Hill, and they would be at the hood days with them fools. They had a big old hood day like 2 years ago where fools from California came out here, and they had a big old hood day with all the Bloods, and then West Ridge fools were over there. That being said, CMGs pretty much, they have a power trip, and they feel in their mind they're the dominant. So there was a situation with the 16 blocks. That's another blood hood out here. That's pretty deep. They're not as deep as the CMGs, and they actually shot each other. And CMGs and 16 blocks actually had a mini war go on. You know what I'm saying? I remember when they were tripping with each other. So it was going down, man. Another aspect in the West Side, you had, the GKIs and the Inca Boys. That was a big war in the West Side. Oh yeah, and another thing is too, Park Hill, them fools always had to be battle prone with the Crips, for sure. And to this day they still do, because, they have a lot of beef with Crips. One thing about Park Hill fools, they push the line for CK and CK riding. That's what they do. And one big reason is because their main enemies is, all the Trays from the East Side, and the Trays push that BK stuff all the way. You know what I'm saying? So they always have war with the Crips. But in the West Side Chicano Bloods, they didn't really see Crippin' over there in the West Side, because Crippin' was more of an East Side thing, Aurora thing, and there was not too many fools from the East Side that just went to go root their hoods over there in the West Side. Now, there was a couple different sectors that are from the West Side that represented the Crips and Bang Crip. One gang that I can actually vouch for, I seen it with my own eyes, was the West Side and North Side OGCs, because they have two different circles from OGC. And the West Side OGCs pushed the line through the West Side. They had a spot over there on 16th and Perry, and they were beefing with the 16 blocks tough, because 16th and Perry and all of them, that neighborhood over there is supposed to be the 16 block hood. That's where they were founded over there. And I know they're throughout the city, but they had a house over there in the 16s neighborhood. And when I started going over there from the East Side to, go to Mom's house, because she moved over there, I started running into the OGCs. And actually the OGCs became some of our link up, because we were lokes that were sometimes be in the West Side. We went from the East to the West. You know what I'm saying? And we messed with the OGCs pretty tough. Down the road, you know what I'm saying? Relations, we had a lot of fools got locked up. Let me just say that. You know what I'm saying? But to this day, I still got respect for some of the OGCs. One of my homies on here, the homie Surge, man. What up, Ryder? He on here always showing love, bro. But you know, the Chicano Mexican Bloods didn't really see Crippin over there in the West at all. You know, I know when the West Ridge actually tied rags with a lot of the Park Hills, and then they got, you know, they got the aspect of what, you know, that war was all about, because now the East Side was tripping with them fools too. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I hope I, you know, detailed a couple of the little, you know, politics and some knowledge, man. But it's always some crazy stuff going on, man. Y'all take care of yourself, though. Mile high salute. Let's go.